made some massive changes, and Scotty Styris, given that they had the most successful campaign in the last 4 years, are you a bit taken aback by how many changes we've seen? Because 10 players have been released by RCB.
I'm incredibly taken back by what we've seen by those 10 changes, and the reason for that, as you pointed out, is that they made the playoffs. So they did, let's say, 80% of the tournament really well. That's what the first goal is for all these teams, is to make the playoffs and then simply to win 2 or 3 games to win the title. Now, with RCB, the thing we've been crying out for over the last 3 or 4 seasons is consistency. Picking the team and 11 players, much like Mumbai does or CSK when they were dominating, you know, almost 9 or 10 players pick themselves every single game, and then maybe based on conditions you change 1 or 2 players. But once again, the baby has gone out with the bathwater here, and all of these changes have come about. I can understand the Aaron Finch, the Dale Staines, but I don't get why Chris Morris, Moeen Ali, Udana, and Shivam Dubey, who I think will be a target for a lot of sides, maybe even like Gurkit Man if they're looking for a middle order player, maybe someone like Sunrisers for both of those guys. I just don't understand the logic behind making such drastic changes when you seem to make some really good progress in last IPL, particularly when you look back at what's happened in the previous couple of years.
Yeah, they splashed the cash on Chris Morris last time. I did 10 crore rupees. Do you see them perhaps going back to try and buy him at a cheaper price, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't. I mean, he's been a good player for them. He was injured early part of the tournament, but when he came in, you could see their attack got a lot more teeth.
Yeah.
He can be good down the order, and you can see the bigger. I mean, it's been historically it's been a problem with them. Okay, Virat Kohli, AB, Chris Gayle, to an extent, the top order has been. Now they've found Padikkal, who's been a real find for them. But generally, that middle or lower middle order is where they've struggled. You might want Chris Morris, but will you get him at the price that you want?
Yeah.
So those are the things that the auction dynamics, you can never really be guaranteed of anything. So very surprised after playing as well as they did, or best season in the last 4, that they've decided to do away with so many players, because you want some continuity with any team, and at the moment RCB just can't provide them for their players.
Yeah, a few question marks from both Ajit Agarkar and from Scotty Styris as to why there were 10 changes from RCB after a very successful campaign, given the way the last 5 years have gone. But the man who could have the answers for us, Mike Hesson, Director of Operations, stands by. Mike, hopefully, has a few answers for all of us.
We clearly had to leave some players out this year that were a big part of our side last year. Notably, Chris Morris and Aaron Finch, who were really experienced players and big players for us. And with Chris Morris, I guess that with a 10 crore purse, he's a big part of our resource and did really well when he got on the park. I guess the big thing is that he had some injuries, missed quite a bit of cricket, and hasn't played cricket since then, certainly at a high level. So there's a bit of a risk there. Certainly, we still think he's a very good cricketer, but as I said, at the price of 10 crore, he'll be back in the auction discussions.
So plenty to think about for Mike Hesson, Simon Katich, Virat Kohli.